Alright YouTube, what's going on? Heylow here, bringing you an all-new Total War Warhammer 2 1v1 matchup. So today we're going to be playing Averlorn versus the Vampire Counts. Let's go over the build real quick. So for myself, I brought Allariel the Radiant. She is going to be on foot. She's going to be rocking Earthblood, Shield of Thorns, and Tempest today. Front line is going to consist of 4 Spearmen. They're going to be supported by 3 Treekin. And in the core is going to be 2 Sisters of Averlorn backed up by a Dryad to help clear out any of the chaff zombie summons. And then in the back line, 2 units of Phoenix Guard to help protect us from rear charges and to support the Sisters in case anything tries to fly in and goon them. So that's it for me. Over here for the Count's army, we're going to have a wide army. Whole lot of zombies up front, 4 units. They're going to be backed up by 3 units of Skeleton Warriors and 3 units of Grave Guard, one of them being the Stearnsmen. At the core, they are going to have a corpse cart with the unholy lodestone, as well as a standard corpse cart, and a banshee to back them up. Way out on the flank over here, a black coach is going to be supported by the dire pack, the anti-large ROR dire wolf. They're going to be backed up by some blood knights, as well as the von Carstein vampire lord. He's going to be rocking his summons, as well as invocation. Or actually, 1 second, what do you have here? What am I not recognizing? Ah, the Vargulf summon. Yeah, so okay, he does have the summons. Up in the air, we are going to have 2 units of Fellbats, and that is going to be the gist of it, except that 1 direwolf. So, anyways, let's get the ball rolling here. So, cutting right into it, going to be a little bit of a standoff for a few minutes here. Not a few minutes, but a little bit. We're going to start pushing up here to try and get a little bit of his position with the hill to our back. And our opponent is going to start going for a wide envelopment. The idea with my army is very, very tough, very, very hard to take down. I have lots of magic AP missiles to help snipe out heavy cavalry. Dragons, Tempest will help us, as you'll see in a minute here, dealing with Fellbats or Flyers of other types. Treekin just back up our Spearmen in supporting the front line. It'll take a long time to grind through that. They do very well supporting against Graveguard, and they'll also help us out with mass in tying down dragons, Terrorgeist, Vargulfs, things like that. The Dryad here, as I mentioned, is just to deal with zombie summons or any kind of like cheap infantry blobs that come up. They'll help us cut through that. They'll also deal with Cairn Wraiths or any other kind of ethereal unit as they come in. So you can see here, I'm going to be dropping that Tempest, doing a very solid job of dealing with some Fellbats. And we are going to turn about and pop some Sisters of Averlorn shots into them just to kind of melt them down a little faster. And same thing over here, we're going to pop a few shots just to kind of ward them off, let them know we're watching. And force those Flyers away, take some free damage where we can get it. And we're going to switch over really quick to the Direwolves to try and get a little bit of damage done to them. But opponent is paying attention, and he is going to start pulling back. And we don't want to waste our ammo, so these guys aren't on fire at will, and we're just going to kind of pull back and wait. We forced him off a little bit, keep the flanks secure while his formation moves up. And we are going to be turning about here, and one of the big targets we want to focus on is the Unholy Lodestone. Take that out really quickly if possible, because it is going to be providing some of that healing aura to his chaff in the frontline engagement. So you can see here, we are going to have 1 sister start focusing it, and then another sister is going to focus that for the corpse card over here. So going to do some good damage pretty quickly, as you can see there. But our opponent here, seeing that I'm focusing him, is going to start sending his Fellbats in. We are going to push our Dryads up. Again, our Chaff Cleansers, they're going to go deal with that. Over here, he does have a Direwolf that's coming in, and he accidentally doesn't have the attack order on. So we're going to countercharge with the Treekin, bring the Phoenix Guard over to deal with this Fellbat. His Black Coach has pushed up through the line, and we are going to be re-aiming our Sisters right at that thing. Sooner we can take it out, the better. He does have it stuck in some spears at the moment. Our flank is fairly secured. Allariel here is a little bit isolated, but the Phoenix Guard going to be coming in to back him up. Dire Pack, not really the most amazing unit to try and take down Allariel. Phoenix Guard support. So Fellbats are already down. Treekin moving in to bog down the Black Coach and help support that. Our opponent does summon the Vargulf here on the right side, so we do have some spears as well as the Treekin here, trying to do a little bit of damage to the von Carstein Lord, and he does get a juicy rear charge on my spears, but we will have them turning about to engage in a moment. So far, Dire Pack not doing too hot. The Banshee is also getting pretty wrecked. Allariel does have magic damage, as do the Phoenix Guard and Dryad, so lots and lots of magic damage here to chew her down to bits. But Sisters are very, very rapidly focusing down this Black Coach, who my opponent is trying to escape with. We pop a star here on our right flank with the Spearmen and the Treekin just to make sure they stay safe in this blob of infantry. Try and hold that flank as much as possible. Corpse Cart is trying to come in to deal with the Sisters, but it's not going to do too hot here. They do have anti-large and spears. Phoenix Guard and Dryads have done a very good job of mopping up my backline. Treekin and Spears over here trying to hold off the Blood Knights and the Vargulf summon. Kind of losing that engagement because there is a lot of heavy AP and anti-large there tying my Treekin up. But it's a sacrifice that we can make right now because we are able to take the Black Coach down. We are able to take out all of his Dire Wolves and the Felbats, so he has no more mobility outside of Blood Knights. We are going to be turning about with the Sisters to try and pop some shots in on these Blood Knights, but they do run away. So Treekin are going to be pursuing the Vargulf, who has taken a lot of sustained damage here. But all in all, going pretty well for us. He's got a unit of Graveguard that swept around my left flank. We are going to be sending the Phoenix Guard in to intercept them. Kind of a grind fest there, but the Phoenix Guard will do well in holding them up. While our Sisters shift about and start focusing on these corpse cards, try and take these guys out of the fight because they are helping the Sternsmen stay, and those guys are a big threat. They are very, very strong, and they will sit in the fight for all of eternity if they aren't dealt with quickly. So Dryads here holding up some of these Skeleton Warriors as they are supposed to do. We do get our Shield of Thorns and Earthblood combo popped off in this entire pocket, so Treekin and Spear is going to be doing a very good job of sustaining here as well. Phoenix Guard cutting off some of these zombie summons, protecting my Sisters from them getting tied up too much. Sisters here at the core doing a very good job of picking away at the Blood Knights. Another heal going off here by my opponent. Overcast Invocation to try and keep his Graveguard and his carts in the fight. But that is costing him very heavily, and his Blood Knights are going to be getting whittled down here because he did just spend his Overcast Invocation without them in the area. So tough call for him there. But we are going to be sitting here with our Earthblood in our nice little juicy pocket. He does come through the Von Carstein Lord to try and get into my Sisters. Very good pickup there. But in sustained combat, he will take some damage. So we turn about our other unit, and we are going to start shooting him right in the back and doing a solid amount of chip. But all in all, battle is going pretty well for us. Not going to lie, looking pretty good so far. But yeah, looking pretty good. So over on the left side, we're going to have Blood Knights coming in, Phoenix Guard, and Spears moving in to intercept. Sisters of Averlorn continuing to fire on the Von Carstein Vampire Lord, and Allariel is now in combat. So she's not going to do the best here, but with the Sisters firing in to support, we're trying to bait him into an engagement he doesn't want to take, and he is not having it. He moves about to charge into the Sisters, and we are going to be hot in pursuit with Allariel. It is going to be popping down at the Shield of Thorns, giving us lots and lots of physical resist in our pockets as usual. Spears regroup and we'll bring them back in. So far looking very good for us. Treekin doing a good job of dealing with some of these Sternsmen and the Skeleton Warriors. Spearmen holding up for a very long time, and our Star of Averlorn is helping the Phoenix Guard in their fight against the Graveguard. So all good engagements on our end. Our opponent does seem to be running out of resources right now. His Blood Knights are very, very low, and he does have his carts because he has been keeping them healed up. Unfortunately, they aren't really going to be able to do too much independently here. He's losing a lot of the supporting units, and with that, the carts are going to be left alone. And against Phoenix Guard and the Sisters, they are just not going to hold up. Treekin continuing to chew through some of these tougher nuts. Sternsman here, as always, doing an excellent job in combat, holding forever. But Allariel's out here trying to deal with the Von Carstein Lord, who is kind of cycling in, but Earthblood is going to go down to help with that regen and HP pool. And yeah, just kind of grinding it out right now. We do have a little bit of a full envelopment. Treekin are now going after the Unholy Lodestone Corpse Cart. I'm going to try and cut that out. We wanted to do it earlier. Unfortunately, with all of the heals and how many targets we had, we didn't really have a good opportunity to focus the Sisters on it for long enough. But Allariel is doing a very good job of chipping away at the Von Carstein Lord. And our Phoenix Guard and Dryads are making a short work of all of the Chaff Infantry. As you can see, Sternsmen here are kind of the last real infantry unit left on the battlefield for our opponent. Corpse Carts are now isolated. The Spears are doing a great work against them. They don't really have any real armor, only 45, and their melee stats suck. Very low mobility. So they are soon to be removed from this world. And the Von Carstein Lord is isolated in the Sisters with Allariel, and yeah, that's going to be army losses for our opponent here. So yeah, good game to my opponent. See, I've definitely been having a lot of good success with this army so far. Allariel's healing is crazy strong. Phoenix Guard make a very, very good backbone to the force. And then Tree can do a really good job of tying down all of these high mass targets, so you aren't just getting cycle charged like the Black Coach, your caster lords on their horses, even Vargeis and Vargulfs get pretty bogged down in them, as you saw on that right flank. That summon got kind of stuck in there for a while. We were able to take him out with some of our supporting units. So yeah, that is going to be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time.